Well, the other thing that the Browns are now dealing with, Denzel Ward didn't practice today. He's on the bike, so there's his availability for the Steelers is definitely in question. So the Browns have to deal with that. But the good news is that Greg Newsome able to go, and Greedy Williams, the guy who Greg Newsome beat out, you could argue he's been one of the best cornerbacks when the Browns have had to use him. Here's Joe Woods talking about dealing with Ward's injury and Greedy Williams.
I don't know. Just take it day to day and see where he's at. You know, he's out there going through the walkthrough part of practice with us, so we'll see what happens the next couple of days.
How do you feel like you guys are set? I mean, it's like, you know, Greg was out. I know Denzel had to come out of the one game early with the neck.
That's, you know, for me, it's just it's the next guy up. Because if you worry about injuries, guys going down, man, you'll be sick. So it's like, I feel confident in the guys we have in the back end. So, you know, Greg, Reedy will start, Troy, and then we have other guys we're preparing to play too if Denzel doesn't make it.
How kind of valuable has Greedy been because of that stuff that's happening?
He stepped up and played well. I mean, he's made plays on the ball, created fumbles. So I'm very pleased where he's at. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. So it's just an opportunity for him to step up for the defense.
And Mac, we talked about the depth at that position, and you definitely need it. And the Browns have needed it probably more than they would have liked to for the first 8 games of the season now.
Yeah, and you got to give credit where it's due. You know, Greedy Williams missed all of last season. He's stepped up. He's been playing, you know, the best ball of his career, basically. And the biggest difference that I saw, you know, I was able to be at that Bears game especially, and seeing him get that start, and on the outside, he's a willing tackler at this point. That was the biggest criticism of him coming out of LSU, is that, you know, maybe he was a little shy when it comes to, you know, making those tackles, getting up in the box and being able to, you know, stop those plays. But he's been somebody who's had a nose for the football. He's been able to get down into the box if need be. He gets up in the face of those receivers, and he's really been doing a great job on the outside. And you know, he's been one of the higher rated cornerbacks from Pro Football Focus throughout this season. He's been a great cover corner, and, you know, he had the one interception at least. But, you know, I look at Greedy Williams, and he has really stood out. And outside of Greedy Williams, you know, they do have depth. Like you mentioned, you know, A.J. Green was somebody who, you know, he was tested a little bit, obviously had the bad pass interference call against him with the Chargers game. But, you know, he overall, as somebody who was an undrafted free agent last year, stepped up, played well on the outside as well last year. So I look at the depth that this Browns team has. Even if Denzel isn't necessarily out there, I do feel confident about the rest of that secondary that they do have, including guys like MJ Stewart and AJ Green, like I mentioned.